To go live. Okay, let's go live. Let's go live. Let's go live. All right. Is this thing on? Is there anybody here? I think this is working. Good morning. Is this thing on? I got my coffee here. Good morning, everybody. Uncle Bruce live from Calgary, Alberta, Canada, where all the good folks live. How you doing? It's Wednesday, April the 29th, 2026. Just in case you wondered, what am I back at today? Is my time machine working? Did I come back? Because my flux capacitor has been on the fritz lately. I just want to make sure. Yeah, it is Wednesday, April 29th, 2026. And it's apparently at 4:58 in the morning, my time. I was supposed to be on 6-7 minutes ago. And I'm just sitting here going, when do I go on? I thought I was on at 5. No, I'm on at 4:50. Well, I'm on. I'm live. Welcome. Nice to see you. It's earnings day. Sofi, earnings day. We're just waiting a couple minutes right now for earnings to come out for SoFi for the first quarter. And I'm just going to try to mute myself so that, I don't get this ridiculous sound. I hope everything is coming through okay. Welcome all, everyone. It's been a while since I've been live, so, if I have any glitches, that's the reason. How you doing? You making any money in the markets these days? What a crazy time. I tell you, I've decided that I'm not going to post any images of seashells or cartoons or of anything on the internet. I can't afford that. I'm just going to talk live and tell you what I think and my opinion is going on and kind of go from there. I love this SoFi, by the way. I don't know about you, but I like SoFi. Always have been following it since 2021, as many of you have with me. The company, I think, is a winner no matter what the numbers are in the next few minutes and how the stock reacts all day today or the rest of this week. CEO is buying the stock himself personally. So, if Mr. Noto is buying the stock, I think it's a winner. I own shares of SoFi now. I'm a shareholder. I also write call options on SoFi as well. And I will be a shareholder of SoFi for quite some time because I don't think these $16, $17, $18, $19, $20 prices are going to mean anything 3 months from now, 6 months from now, 2 years from now. Except what it'll mean is that we'll look back in the future and go, can you remember when those shares were so cheap and how many people didn't buy them or didn't do anything about it? It is what it is. Earnings are, I think, out. And do not be surprised with the reaction of the stock in the next 5 minutes, 10 minutes, because there will be short attacking going on. There's going to be all kinds of speculation on it. And so just, let this trading trade. You can't do anything with options anyway, even if you're an option writer, because, we aren't open yet for options writing. Now, I see it at 1830. I saw it this morning at 1890. I see them now at 1805. This is just do not be in any way surprised because this is pre-market nonsense with almost no volume. We're not going to see 100 million shares trade in the next 10 minutes. So let's see what's going on. I'm showing now 1774 for a print, 1769 for a print. I use this as an opportunity as a dip to buy if you're going to buy these shares and just kind of sit around. Adam says SoFi reported first quarter 26 with a record net revenue of 1.1 billion, record member and product growth, net income 167 million. And no matter what the company says, there will be some people out there saying that's not going to be good enough because you know how it is. It's never good enough. We'll see what's going on here today. Welcome everybody to the program. I'm showing 1708 at the moment on the pre-market, but I don't know how accurate that is and how long that will last. This is how this game works. The market will fluctuate a lot right now. 1739 next trade could be 100 shares causing a 20, 30, 50 cent move per trade. So we're just going to have to, tolerate what we have to tolerate. And that's just the way that is. And that's the way this is going to be. 1745, 1747 seems to be the indicated stock price right now. We'll see what's going on. Bottom line is SoFi is getting larger. number one fintech stock, and I think they're going to do just fine. But we have to tolerate the swings. 1761 right now, as it is jumping around quite a bit. Anyone selling this stuff at this point, they are obviously not, long-term followers of the company. They're not familiar with SoFi Technologies as a whole. They're swing traders, or they're just day traders on margin trying to play the game. 1717 on 2.2 million total volume. I think we had a million plus already trade before the opening, and we're down 119 according to the pre-market. I'm now getting pre-market quotes out of CNBC and from Market Watch. And those of you out there can keep an eye on the market through your devices as well, as we keep an eye on things. How you doing, everybody? Welcome to the party, pals. Those of you who are on the sidelines thinking, well, I'm going to wait till the earnings come out and then I'm going to make a move. I'm then going to decide what to do with my options trading and whatnot. Well, today might be the perfect day to write cash secured puts on SoFi, especially if it wants to open on a dip. If it's $16.65 right now, $16, you write 17s, you write 18s, you write 20s, and write them out to January 27 or June 27 or January 28, and take the big fat premium to get your hands on that. I say that's a great way to go. 1693.17 right now, two different quotes. Who do you believe? I don't know who to believe. I'm not quite sure who to believe right now. We'll see how accurate this market really is. 1680 now. And remember, it's 5:04 here, 7:04 New York time. We don't open for 2.5 hours. And so, you're going to see a lot of speculation on this stock between now and then. 1702, 1715 right here. Who's the idiot that sold at 1660 and now sees the stock trading at 1712? Too bad, you just lost 50 cents a share. But if it's a 100 share trader, some moron who bought them at 17 and sold them at 1660 and now is buying them back at 1760, they've lost or made a couple $100. I mean, does it matter? 1726 right now is where I see the last trade. 1728. You're watching it. I'm watching it. Jimmy says it always drops on earnings, Bruce. This is kind of how this stock rolls. Could be, but again, this is not the market. This is the pre-market where someone with the power to buy and sell 2 or 3 or 5,000 shares can play all kinds of games here. You can go with 500 share orders in and out, back and forth, create havoc. Or if you're a shorter and you've got a short position and now you short another couple of thousand shares, 200-300 at a time, you try to stagnate and step the stock down by offering stock at 1740, 1730, another couple hundred, 1720, another couple hundred, and you try to make the market look bad. Hey, I'm just a guy in front of a computer going, that could be going on, and I'm not really worried about it too much. 1730 now, last indicated trade, and we'll see how this sort of settles in. What else am I thinking about here for SoFi? Member growth will be and will continue to be great. Their loan business is growing dramatically. People just are not talking about the fact that a quarter ago, before the end of the year last year, they raised $1.7 billion at $27.50 a share. And at that time, that was called diluting the stock. And I laughed at that, and I still laugh at that today because it's been almost 3 months that they've got that cash in their hands. And you know what they're doing with $1.7 billion? Everyone talks about it being $1.5 billion, by the way, but they forget the broker exercised their options and took the extra $200 million. They've been lending that money out. They've been lending that money out at 7, 8, 10, 12% interest. If a quarter of that money went out into the credit card department, they're lending it out there at 25% or 22%. If they're lending it for car loans, they're probably getting 10 to 12%. If they're doing it as personal loans, they're probably getting 8 to 10%, 12%. this is wonderful. If you can average 10% return on $1.7 billion in your loan portfolio, that's $170 million a year in income. Gross income, $170 million. Doesn't cost SoFi $170 million to issue loans on $1.9 billion of cash in their treasury. Not at all. In the meantime, they've also brought in this quarter $3.5 billion of capital from institutional investors, where they are told, lend that money out to your clientele. We'll take the risk, and we'll take interest off of you as you bring it in, and you guys get a 2% finder's fee for every dollar you lend out. So they lend out $3.5 billion and make $70 million in upfront fees to lend out the money, and then are getting about a half a percentage point a year on the money to manage the loans. And they've got a whole bunch of happy clientele borrowing capital. I think they're going to bring in another 10, 15 billion the rest of this year in that kind of capital, and make another 300 million in fees on top of all the fees they're generating. But again, the noise out there with Muddy Waters and everything else is muffling out the reality of how much money these guys are making. It's incredible. Anyway, it is what it is. Welcome, everybody. Welcome all. Hi there, Bobby Atkinson. Thank you. Jimmy, comical name, is here. Jeff Glass, this market is so crazily manipulated. It's unbelievable. Fridge says 50th largest bank in the United States now. If you look at the rankings of how big this bank is now. Good morning, everybody from Aurora. Nice to see you all. JJ is wondering about gas prices significantly rising overnight. Wonder why is that when the price of a barrel of oil goes up $3, the price of gas has to go up 20 cents. A price of gas should go up about 2 pennies if oil goes up $3 because of how many gallons of fuel come out of a barrel. But for some reason, it's just like 5% increase in the price of gas when oil goes up 2%. Well, we've been talking about that since the 70s. I don't know if any of you are familiar with the 1970s, but we had the oil embargo back then, but before many of you were even born that are watching me at all. How are you guys doing? Mojo's here. Good morning, Uncle Bruce and Familia. I'm having my coffee here. I'm trying to wake up. 1742 on SoFi after touching, I think it was 1660. Did you see any trades lower than that? 1630 maybe? Like, did 100 trade there? I don't know. Does it matter? Nope, it doesn't matter at all. Anyway, there you have it. The economy in the United States and in Canada and the rest of the world, analysts and economists are on eggshells trying to predict what's going to happen next and how it's going to happen and how it's going to affect the markets and what have you. It's wild to me. The government of Canada yesterday came out and said that our deficit was $11.5 billion less than we thought it would be, with a spring update budget announcement is what they came up with yesterday. These are beautiful political shows that are just pure fantasy and pure, pie in the sky thinking. Because if you're the government and you say, we think the budget deficit's going to be, $80 billion. And then you predict that, it's actually going to be about $65 billion. You take credit for saying we're $15 billion less on the deficit than we thought we were going to be. This is the government of Canada I'm talking about. When a year ago it was $30 billion. So, if I could do this, if I could have done this as a child, with my parents on my report card, I should have done this. I should have said to my mom and dad, I think I'm going to get Fs, maybe Ds across the board. And then I bring in C minuses and C pluses and stuff. And I say, see, this is great. I'm doing way better than I thought I was doing. I've worked really hard, mom and dad, at my homework. Isn't this great? I didn't do that as a kid. I didn't use that trick. I just brought the report card home and my dad would look at me and going, Don't you pay attention in class? Welcome, everybody. Welcome from the UK. Hey, say hi to me from wherever you are out there. Pop in a little hello. Check out my poll question of the day today. Where do you think SoFi is going to be down the road a month from now? rather than where it is at the moment, and where it's going to be today. Where do you think the stock's going to be? Over 20, over 25, over 30? Love to hear from you. Susan Shops in the house. Good morning, Susan Shops. Say good morning to me. Let me know you're out there, you're alive and well, you're watching. Great to hear from you. And thanks again for those of you who reach out to me from time to time with a private email, brucefarmer@hotmail.com. Nice to hear from you all. Jen and I are doing great. Jennifer's doing fantastic. She had her hip operations 2 years ago and 3 years ago now. Or we're losing track of time, how long it's been since she's had her hip operation. She is just walking around, no cane, no walker, nothing. She's just walking. I don't even ask her anymore, how's your hip doing? How are your hips doing? I don't even ask her anymore. It doesn't come up. It's the occasional comment she'll make. Oh yeah, I felt my hip the other day. I must have stepped funny on a step or something, but it didn't hurt. It just let me know that, oh yeah, there's an artificial hip there. Like, it's nothing. It's like it's out of sight, out of mind. Unbelievable. Again, this channel was very responsible for Jennifer getting 2 artificial hips in 2 years in Rancho Mirage. And we thank you. And we thank you too every day. Whenever Jen and I toast each other, we clink coffee cups or everything, we go, thank you, YouTube. We thank you because we're thanking you, and we love you. Very good. Someone's asking here, these names that you have here, by the way, are your usernames on YouTube. I get it. And so I don't know your actual name. In some cases, some people are very familiar to me, and I know exactly who you are. Hey, Bruce, what's a good plan with the GameStop warrants? Yeah, look, if you own them, you got them for nothing. If you sold them, you sold them. If you're holding them, you're holding them. If you're picking some more up, you're picking some more up. I think in the next 30 to 60 days, a lot of activity is going to happen with GameStop shares, in my opinion, because the compensation program for Ryan Cohen will be passed by shareholders and will become part of the income package. Because remember, Ryan Cohen doesn't take a salary. And this frees Mr. Cohen now to work with the $9.5 billion in cash he's got lying around in his treasury. And don't be surprised if a bunch of announcements start coming out with GameStop is investing in this company, and this company, and this company. And the shares might take a bit of a run to the 30, 35 level, which wouldn't shock me at all for GameStop. It's a year overdue, but stock goes to $35 a share. Those $31 warrants will all be exercised by somebody, and the company raises another $2 billion. And there's not $11.5 billion in cash. There you go. Anyway, that's what I'm saying. Comment here from ES. The 0.42% delinquency rate is very strong. It contradicts the idea that credit is blowing up. If anything, it supports good underwriting, higher income borrowing-based controlled risk despite growth. There. Very good. Thank you, and thank you, and thank you. Bobby Atkinson, is there another trip planned for you? Yeah, actually, we're scheming a trip right now. I'll tell you about that in a minute or two. Richie is in the house. How you doing, buddy? Charlie, good morning, everybody. Uncle Bruce, everybody. And Janine, good morning, all. Thank you for saying hi to me, kids. Tell me where you're watching me from. How you doing? And say hi to myself, and let me know you're alive and well. And Mark says, now I have to shave my Uncle Bruce beard again. Jennifer loves this beard. Auntie Jen just loves the fact that I'm sitting on a beard, and she decides she doesn't like the beard. It's gone. I did get a trim on this thing a few weeks ago, so it's not as bushy as. I don't look like David Letterman right now or Santa Claus, but it'll grow back in again, and then I'll get another one. But so far, so good. What else is going on? What's going to happen with the economy? That's a big question. By the way, 1698, 1687 on Sofi right now, 1692 on Sofi right now. So watching the pre-market. The economy, whoa, boy, I'll tell you. It's no longer. I'll put it. I'm going to say this for those of you out there curious what I think. One thing I do know that this economy is not. Okay, here's what the U.S. economy is no longer and cannot be in any way claimed to be anymore the Joe Biden economy. The Joe Biden economy is long gone, and it is now guess whose economy, and will be for quite some time. The damage that's been caused internationally and is being caused right now through a chain of events that a lot of people had no idea could happen is happening. And unfortunately, we're not done yet. This is going to get a lot worse, quite a lot worse. Anyway, that's the story. Beach Boy, I'm not here as per usual from Israel. I'm not here. Welcome for not being here. How you doing? Hiya, Jen from Beach Boy. Bobby, comment, Barron article headline, SoFi needs to win back Wall Street confidence. Strong earnings is a good start. They never lost Wall Street's confidence. The stock was jumped on by a bunch of speculators, and the fact that when SoFi began to fall from 2750 range in late December, January, all kinds of problems in the market were happening at the same time, including the loss of AI confidence, which you saw again rear its ugly little head yesterday. And now today we're up again a little bit, 98 points on NASDAQ after losing, what, 200-300 yesterday. There's going to be more heartache coming in the big markets, though, in my humble opinion. Because unfortunately, the economic damage being done is going to hit the all economies, including the strong U.S. economy, and that's the shame of it. Bobby says another headline: SoFi just set a slew of lending records. Why the stock is falling? You're going to find as the day wears on. Fed articles beginning, by the way. You're going to find as the day wears on, they're going to have their conference call. There's going to be coverage of that, and then Mr. Noto is going to go to the media, as he always does, and go on camera and talk about the company, and its growth prospects and its earnings and all that good stuff. And so we're going to have to, just to sit around and let it all kind of come out and let it all be absorbed and let it all be digested, I guess is the word. It's going to take a few days, and we'll kind of go from there. It's all good. It's all right. 1689 a share, 1680 a share, 1688 a share. It doesn't matter. These pre-market numbers don't matter. When the market opens, we'll see how the market really reacts at 9:30 Eastern time. And about a week from now, we'll really see how the stock reacts about a week from now. Is the company upping their guidance? That's a question. I'd love to know about that. By the way, 1696 right now is where I see the last indicated pre-market trade. What else is going on? Headlines will come out all day long, all morning long. I'm just looking for any updates. If you see any, you'd let me know. Okay, we're just here to hold each other's hands and get through here. Meet Me on the Moon says, hi, Bruce. How you doing, everybody? Welcome all to the show. Welcome all to the impromptu live following here on SoFi. If you're an option writer, you are very aware that we love option writing on this channel. If you're not an option writer, you're wondering what is a stock option. I would really look into that, how to write options. You do not have to have $1 of your capital in any stock right now if you want to be an option writer. And if you want to be a conservative option writer where you're letting the risk be taken by all the gamblers out there who are gambling on options, you can be a cash secured put option writer and just sit on a mountain of capital and just say, hey, I'm earning daily interest on some of this cash, if not all of my cash, depending on the brokerage firm you're using. And I'm prepared to buy SoFi or GameStop or Google or Apple or ASTS or any stock you want. What's your favorite stock? If you can write a cash secured put, you can sit back and say, I'm prepared to buy stock at a lower price that it's trading at right now. And I'm prepared to take cash right up front for that commitment. Thank you very much, sir. May I have another? You can learn how to do this by going to my website, stockmarkerswithbruce.ca. And there are some classes there that you can take on how to be an option writer and take this dough. Thank you very much. Bobby, I just love how these articles, he says, are created the day of 7% off. The pre-market is talked about in one of them. There you go. We're down 8% at the moment, technically 1687, 1689, but that's pre-market crap. We don't know. Samuel is in the house saying, good morning, everyone. I wrote some SoFi calls a couple of weeks ago. Looks like a good day to cash in and switch to cash secured puts. Stay safe out there, Bagel Familia. That's also another strategy. Vilbus, I don't mind a dip for a day or two. I've got some calls I'd like to buy back. I've written calls on SoFi myself. I picked up SoFi shares in the 15, 16, 17, 18 range. I've been picking away at them because I'm a long-termer. I'm looking at 3 to 5 years from now, not 3 to 5 minutes or 3 to 5 days or 3 to 5 weeks. I am looking down the line going, well, by the time I'm even thinking of selling SoFi, the shares will be S&P 500 listed. They will be generating $2 a share in profit on their way to $3 a share profit. They will be trading at 20 to 40 times earnings on $3 a share profit. They'll be 60 to 120 bucks a share. I'm thinking down the road. I'm not thinking about down this morning's road to my next cup of coffee. So I'm not here for a cup of coffee. I'm here to make money long term on SoFi because I believe in SoFi for the big picture. So I'm happy to write contracts. I wrote some calls, $20 calls are what I wrote. When I bought the shares at 16 and 17 and 18, I was writing $20 calls. And I'm sitting here going, hey, you want to go down? Like, you want to seriously go down to like $15 a share, $16 a share? You want to hang out there later today, tomorrow? I'll buy my calls back for a lot less than I sold them for. But then I'm watching for the market to just, slowly recover back to 17, 18, 19. And I might write 22s. The other thought I had was, no. The shares are going to go up tomorrow, the day after. They'll dip a little here, but this is pre-market. This doesn't matter. But during the trading day today, they don't dip enough to really buy these calls back at a reasonable price. Then I'll just wait the calls out a little longer, or shares go higher because of the market gets it. I'll roll these contracts. I'll buy these contracts back at a loss, and I'll sell higher strike calls further out in time for the same amount of money, or even if it costs me 50 cents a contract, $1 a contract, I don't care, because if I can add a $5 call strike price to my calls, and it costs me $1 to do it, that's cheap insurance. I'm happy to do that. I'm not at all nervous about it. The difference is I'm not a 5-day holder. I'm not a 5-week trader. I'm a lifer. I'm going to be a lifer. As a matter of fact, my attitude on SoFi is, and it should be, I hope yours as well, is if you own SoFi shares, you have to have the mindset that you're never going to sell the stock and that you can't afford to sell the stock. If you've got a price average in the level, let's say you're at 18 bucks a share all in, or 17 or 15 or whatever, and the shares go to 25 to 30 and they become eligible for S&P 500 listing, and they reach the 35, 45 level a year from now, and 2 years from now they're $60, $70, and 3 years from now they're $80 to $100. You can't afford to sell those $18 shares, because if you sell them at $100, you got a big fat tax problem. So you got to hang on to the shares, which then begs the question, well, what do I do, Bruce, if I'm up thousands and thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars on this gain? How can I possibly enjoy the win? especially if I have cash flow needs. Well, that's because you're writing options. You're going to write a series of contracts where you might take, say you own 5,000 shares, you might write 10 contracts representing 1,000 of your shares that expire in 2 months or less. You're going to write another 10 of those 50 potential contracts for 2 to 4 months out. You might write 10 more contracts that are 4 to 8 months out, and you might write 10 and 20 more that are 8 months, a year and a bit out. You've got different stages of expiry at different strikes, and you're prepared to roll any and all at any time. You're going to constantly bring in capital and adjust your strike price with the market. And that is how you will get richer, because you never sell the stock. The other thing, of course, is you play the same game that Jeff Bezos plays with his Amazon shares, that Elon Musk plays with his Tesla shares, and Oracle, Larry Ellison, plays with his shares. You are a 5,000 shareholder, 10,000, 20,000, 50,000 share shareholder of SoFi, whatever your level is. You're going to borrow against your stock from time to time, and just borrow on your margin account, $1,000, $5,000, $10,000. Write options to bring the capital in. As time goes by, they expire worthless, or they shrink dramatically, as you know, call options. And you pay down the debt that way. You live off of your stock by manipulating your asset, by never selling your asset. You're leveraging your asset. This is if you're a shareholder of SoFi. That's your future game plan. The interest you pay to borrow against your stock is a write-off, cost of doing business. The capital you bring in is capital gains. And there you go. If you're not a shareholder of SoFi, but you're a big fan of the company like I am, then you're a cash secured put writer. You're sitting on a mountain of capital, and you're constantly rolling your cash secured puts for a nice fat premium, upfront cash. You're earning daily interest on your money, depending on the brokerage firm you have and how you do it. You've listened to me countless times on how to put your money to work. And you're generating revenue that way. Thank you very much, and welcome to the program. Volatility is your friend, says Andre De La Torre. Welcome, Andre De La Torre, to the show. I love that name. Vilbus, $15 would be great. Buy back my calls and load up in even more shares. RB is thinking this could go down to 13, 14. Up and down, sideways. Learn how to make money if the market is red, green, or blue. There you go. Aaron Ace sent me an email, and it went into my junk folder, and then my email somehow got sidetracked for a bit, and I had to sign back in to get my email to update. And lo and behold, I had 350 junk messages in my junk mail folder after like 3 days of not being able to, or not thinking about getting back into that email to get it fired up. Anyway, I found you, Aaron. I found your message about, I don't know, 120 in. Transferred your message to my inbox, and I responded to you, and I'm glad you got the message. So welcome. Sorry, folks, if you send me an email and I don't respond to you, it's not like I hate you. It's not that I hate you. It could be my email box. It could be my junk folder. I'm using hotmail.com, and I'm so old-fashioned. What can I say? Trish, the dish, tech sector and the department losing chime is not good for SoFi, she says. Okay. Walter Young in the house. How you doing, Walter Young? Good morning, Uncle Bruce and Auntie Jen and Bagel Familia. Welcome all Bagel fans to the program today. Bobby chatting with an AI. They call me a synthetic dividend creator following the BIL and cash secured plan you suggested. I tell you, Bobby, making nothing but money, taking it from every angle they want to give it to him. Why not? RB, it's great to see you on my screen, Uncle Bruce. Welcome all. Gil, why don't you use the money why don't they use the money they diluted with the shares to buy back the stock at $11 a share, less than they sold it for, $27.50? I tell you, I would love it if SoFi were to announce in the next week with a board meeting that they've allocated $500 million for share buybacks. They don't have to spend a dime on any of their buybacks. If you as a public company say, was it the other? I think it was this morning. I read it was who was it? It was it wasn't Google. It was I forgot. Said that we're doing another $20 billion of stock buybacks. Those are just statements that have no teeth. A company can announce a stock buyback and not buy a single share back, but it's an indication to the shareholders, we hear you. We don't like the price of the stock either. We think our shares are way undervalued. SoFi were to announce a $500 million share buyback. They just raised 1.5 billion on a stock issuance at $27.50 in December. Why not? But I don't think they've done that. Lee Mortimer in the house. Good morning, Gil. A reverse dilution would skyrocket the stock. And Aaron, imagine GameStop buys SoFi. And I've said this a million times. $9.5 billion sitting in GameStop's account. They could use $1 billion and pick up 5% of SoFi, just like that. SoFi's market cap at what, $17 a share is what, $18 billion. You need 900 million to get a 5% stake in the company. 1.8 billion, you get 10%. If GameStop were to buy 8% of SoFi stock on the open market, free trading stock on the open market, and become an insider, now it's restricted stock because they're an insider. The squeeze is on. They got 160 million shorted out there. From what I understand, they say 158 million, could be 165 million shorted. And if an outfit like GameStop took 100 million shares free trading off the street by just picking it off, and then it came out, the word came out, and the company files an SEC report. Yeah, we own 8.4% of the company. How high do you think the stock's going to go? What do you think SoFi stock would do? You think SoFi is going to go to $18 because GameStop just took 8.5% of the company off the street? No, think 38. Think $48 a share. And what about GameStop shares? GameStop going from $25 to $45 a share. That'll happen. Yeah, the following, the Reddit army following of the two stocks together. Oh my God, unbelievable. Of course, I've been talking about this since 2022, 24. Ever since GameStop raised their first couple of $1 billion, they could have bought 10% of SoFi for $300 million, $400 million, $500 million. I'm just a guy. No one listens to this guy. I'm just a guy. Anyway, that's just me. What if Pershing Square bought 8% of SoFi? What if I read the other day, is it BlackRock owns 5.1% of SoFi now? Probably represented by a bunch of retail, institutional clients that they have. What if that were to double to 10%? I don't know. What if 5 active investors each bought 3, 4, 5% of this thing? They all became reporting issuers, and it became obvious that SoFi is being gobbled up by smart money, like really being gobbled up. I'm just a guy going, hey, there's opportunity. Opportunity knocks. This company is making money. I can tell you a couple of guarantees. They're going to make more money in the second quarter of this year than they did the first quarter of this year. They're going to make more money in the third and fourth quarter of this year than they did in the third and fourth quarter last year. They're going to make more money this year than they made last year. They're going to make more money the next year in 2027 than they're making this year. They're going to make even more money in the year after that than they made next year and this year and last year. And so there comes a point in time where when they start to generate $1.25 in net profit a share, $1.50 a share net profit, $1.85 a share net profit, $2.40 a net share. There's a number. There's a point in time, a certain financial point in time where SoFi generates a certain amount of money per share in net profits that enough people on the street will go, wait a minute, they're only trading at 10 times earnings, or they're trading at 2 years out, they're trading at 8 times future earnings, or 11 times next year's earnings, or 14 times. And that for a 30, 40% growth company is way, way too cheap. And the first indication, I think, for me, where this is going to become obvious is when we do get a report, we do read a news article, we do hear about something somewhere from a YouTuber or a financial articles written, about how XYZ institutional investor, hedge fund, pension fund, BlackRock, Apollo, any of these monster outfits discloses, yeah, we own 7% of the stock. The train will have left the station in reality, because by the time that happens, the street goes, whoa, wait a minute, whoa. In 90 days, so-and-so picked up 8% of the company. Why would they do that? Well, they're not idiots. They're not morons. They have a team of analysts on board. They figured it out. They went, well, the stock for a year from now, 2 years from now, is trading at 8 times earnings. The PE multiple is 8 for 2 years from now. And we buy for 5 to 10 year windows. That's how long we buy stock for. We don't buy stock for 2 months, 3 months. And it's when an institutional investor, a patient investor, and many of them actually start to pick up the stock and say publicly, or anyone who asks, well, yeah, we're buying this company because we know in 24 months that they'll be trading at 15 to 20 times earnings 24 months from now. And those earnings are going to justify a stock that's triple the price that it's trading at. That's why we buy. You see, we as institutional investors, we have a motto we live by that a lot of retail investors forget. We buy low and we never sell. We're like Warren Buffett. We buy low and we wait. And we patiently wait. And for the first year or so, we get called morons and we get called idiots because we've missed all these hot stocks. But then about 18 months to 24 months to 36 months later, people look at us and go, oh, wow, gee, you own 80 million shares of Sofi that you bought at $16, $17, $18 a share that are now trading at $38 a share. You're an overnight success. And they go, no, we bought this stock in 2026. We bought it in April, May of 2026, when the stock was well under $20 a share and people were giving it away, because we felt that by 2028, 29, and 2030, that the company, Sofi, will have grown their assets and their loan portfolio and their cash flow and their net earnings to the point where it justifies a $40, $50 stock. As a matter of fact, we think the shares are going to go to 100, even though they're only at 48. And of course, at that time, they will be called dreamers and schemers, and you guys don't know what you're talking about. It just goes on and on. It's history repeating itself, just like with the White House and with wars, and history repeats itself. The oil shortage of 1976, it repeats it, or 73. It just repeats itself. It's the same old thing. And so here we go again. Of course, those of us with white hair have been around long enough to see the rerun and the replay. It's kind of like being back in the future with Marty McFly saying, I've seen this episode. That's the Honeymooners. That's where he dresses up like a spaceman. How'd you see it before? I watched a rerun. What's a rerun? Yeah. Welcome to Back to the Future in real life, kids. 1677 is where I see Sofi shares at the moment in the pre-market at 7:41 Eastern Time. Welcome all to the show. We don't trade until 9:30 Eastern Time in the actual market. So 1677, 1680, you've been watching it do this. The shares could well open at $18 a share. They could open at $19.25 when they start trading. I don't know. They could be $15.84. I don't know. But if you're thinking of Sofi for a week or a month, then you're going to pay really close attention to the market right now. But if you're a long-term shareholder like Jen and I are, we're owners of this stock, you're just going to go, hey, shares fluctuate all the time, and you give me enough of a dip, I'll take advantage of it. I'm an option writer as well, and I'm more than happy to take advantage of the dip, and I'll fold my arms. Stock pops back to 19 or 1950 or 20 or 21, 22. I might write 20s, I might write 22s, I might write $25 contracts, I'll let you know when I get there because I'm here for a long, long time. There you go. Welcome all to see you. It's nice all to see you here. Bobby, good point you're making. The last 10 minutes before the opening could be very spicy. That's right. We could be incredibly wild in the last 10 minutes. Have you noticed that lately? You've been, any of you who are watching the markets on a minute by minute basis, have you noticed in the last week or two, your favorite stocks out there, you're watching the last 5-10 minutes before the markets actually open? You see the pre-market activity, all pre-market, and then you see the last few minutes before the market opens, and you see the bid-asks shift, really shift. They go up and down wildly, and 10 minutes after the opening, the stock is nowhere near where it was in the pre-market. The pre-market was up 50 cents, now it's down 50 cents, or it was down 30, 40, 50 cents, and now it's up 40, 50, 60 cents. That is reality of the markets. Pre-markets are notorious for being very volatile and unpredictable. It is what it is, and I appreciate you all being here. By the by, other developments coming our way. It's only a matter of time where options trading will be expanded so that we'll be able to buy and sell calls and puts after the traditional market closing at 4:30 that might get extended to 6:30, and pre-markets will open 2 hours earlier so that instead of waiting till 9:30 Eastern time to buy and sell options, it might be 7:30 Eastern time. Don't be surprised if extended normalization is normal. Like the so-called market is open almost 24/7 for stocks, and options will be 12 hours a day instead of what it is now. Don't be shocked at that. It's coming. It's coming. It's all automated. AI. What do you think AI is going to do? AI is revolutionizing everything, including stock trading. And so, as a retail investor, you gotta be prepared for this to come. Just saying. Anyway, there it is. What do we got here? Thank you, everybody. Bobby's saying, my issue is with a put spread for June 2024, waiting until June to do something about it. Okay, and then Adam is here saying my single stock futures are coming. He says probably with options available on them 24, 5. And AOK today, NY. Welcome all to the show. Hi guys, how you doing? Welcome to the program. It's Wednesday, April 29th. Today is the day where Sofi has finally released their first quarter financials. Higher revenue, higher this, higher that. They're probably doing their conference call right now, their live call. Noto is going to hit the airwaves, and of course, you know what's going to happen on some of these television interviews. They're going to go, oh, your stock is down. Your company must be in real trouble. That Muddy Waters report really is taking effect on your stock. They're going to try to hype it up because the on-air personalities that interview Anthony Noto in many cases are not industry people. They're not finance people. They're reporters. They're, in some cases, rather attractive young women who are easy to look at on the screen and are being told through their headpieces what to ask Noto. And the person giving him the questions to just spill it out are sitting in the control room, and they're thinking, what questions can we ask this guy to make him squirm on television to give us good coverage and good TV? Because this is an entertainment show. We're not the leading financial show in the world. We're entertainment. We sell advertising between these interviews, and we need eyeballs to stick around long enough to watch the next Clairol commercial or the next commercial on a BMW or whatever we're pushing here. So what can we ask him to kind of get people talking? Forget about the fundamentals of the business, the actual earnings of the company. Let's go this direction. So you're going to get, in some cases, when I'm as an industry veteran from the industry financial business, very queasy kind of questions that you just don't ask a CEO. You want to know the bottom line of the company and where it's headed. And Noto will do all he can to stay on the financial message. The question is the noise around him with this Muddy Waters thing. And of course, the Muddy Waters guys, they will be more than happy to talk today. They'll answer anybody's calls. If anybody wants to call Muddy Waters for a comment, they'll be more than happy to talk because they're short the stock. Duh. So the war is on between shorters and longs. We'll see what's going on. Aaron, you know what? I wrote my first ever option covered call on GameStop. I finally dipped my toes in. Congratulations. Now you have a reason to watch the stock. This is great stuff. Nice to have you. All of you, welcome to the program. Bobby, article headline, Ava stock tumbles, the squeeze is over. Fair enough. There's been all kinds of talk about meme stocks and what are they about and whatever. Again, this is what the media wants to talk about. The media wants to talk about the sensationalism of meme stocks because of the coverage that was given the market during the GameStop story back in 2021 and 22. That's the way it is. Anyway, there you have it. The thing that you've probably noticed if you're following GameStop over all the years is what they don't talk about today very much is back in 2020 and 2021 when GameStop shares at that time were under $10 a share. They were $4.80 a share when I started covering GameStop on this channel in its very early days. By the way, we're talking $1.20 a share in today's numbers because the stock is split 4-for-1 on GameStop way back when. What they don't talk about is at that time, GameStop was hundreds of millions of dollars in debt to Bank of America. They had the cash in the bank, though, that they owed Bank of America. And today, they have no debt to really anybody, and they've got $9.5 billion in cash. The street completely ignores, or the so-called Wall Street people completely ignore the fact that GameStop is cash rich, debt non-existent, and they have cleaned up their retail division dramatically and now make money. No one talks about that. The stock, of course, $25 a share on GameStop, multiplied by 4, it means it's $100 a share. GameStop is at $100 a share when it was being shorted back in 2020, 2021, was $4.80 and ran up into the $15, $20 range, then took off to the 40, 50 range, then 80, 100, 200, 300, even 400 share. They don't talk about that. They only say about GameStop that it's a meme stock. They don't call GameStop a heavily cash-rich corporation that will be around for as long as it wants to be around. They don't talk about it. They don't mention that Ryan Cohen does not take a salary, does not have stock options until the option package gets passed in the next month or two, which is, again, up to him to put $100 million into the company or more over the next several years. I'm just saying they are not covering the reality of the situation. In SoFi's case, it's going to be kind of the same. You're not going to get very many serious people on air to really dig into this. But hey, welcome to the market. You've just got to be a long-termer and say, I believe in this company long-term, and I'm not going to be kicked around. $16.57 a share, I'm a buyer. I'll buy back calls I've written, and I'll get ready to write new calls. I wrote cash secured puts. I'll write more cash secured puts. I'll sit on cash. I dare you to make me buy this stock. Those of you who wrote $20 cash secured puts 3 months ago, back in 5 months ago, in the year last year, you wrote 25s, you wrote 30s. Some of you have been exercised. Many of you haven't. And you've been saying to yourself, why am I not getting exercised? I wrote these cash secured puts and they're way in the money now. They're not exercising me. So just sit. You know what you do? Nothing. Just sit tight and relax. Some of you in the last few weeks have written cash secured puts. 20s, 22s, 25s, 18s. Sit, fold your arms and enjoy the cash balance and take the daily interest on your money. Just wait it out. Too much fun. Ciao, Uncle Bruce from Lucas. Thank you, Lucas from Italia. How you doing there, buddy? Sharon is here. Hello, Bruce. And Aaron saying, hey, Uncle Bruce, can you explain rolling up calls? Let's say if the stock, say GameStop takes off, what should we do? Well, if SoFi takes off, let's say you write SoFi calls today. You write, I don't know, you write $18 calls with the stock at $16.60. Again, you can't do it right now because it's pre-market. But let's say you did. You bring in $3 a share for 6-month out contracts, something like that. The stock goes to $22 in the next month or so. You buy back your calls and write new calls that might be $4 higher in strike, $5 higher in strike, 6 months further out in time, a year further out in time. You're not afraid to buy calls back that you've written at what you got for them or more in order to lift your strike price dollars and dollars and dollars per contract out in time, take additional time as capital to you. And you may find that, I wrote calls for $250 and I had to buy them back for $350, but I wrote new calls for $375 that are 6 months later in time at $3-4 a strike higher per share. That's a win. That is taking your contract further out, and you're offering time to the gamblers for their cash to allow you to raise your strike price by $3, $4, $5 a share. And you're sitting there going, the stock's already up $4, $5 a share. And I've now written new strikes that are ahead of the market again. We go up another $4, $5 a share. I'll do another rollover. I'll literally buy these calls back and sell additional calls further out and do it again. And if you can't, if you've gone as far out as you can go in time, you just fold your arms and say, well, I dare you to buy me. Buy me out. I dare you to do it. They won't. Unlikely you'll be exercised with a year to go on a contract. With a week to go on a contract, you're running the risk of getting bought out. But for a 1 year out contract, a year and a half out, unlikely. Sit on the dough. Buy more stock with the cash and write more contracts. You can do that too. Lisa, remember Robinhood who turned off the GameStop buy button? They're down 11% today. Earnings miss on Robinhood. How about that? And that's a high flying stock. That's a member of the S&P 500, isn't it? Isn't that a member of the S&P 500? Yeah, those guys are great. 16.58, 16.59 a share on SoFi. They're making money. I don't know about other companies out there. SoFi is making more money than last year, generating higher profits, and the shares are down. That's an interesting, odd thing, isn't it? Don't you find that somewhat odd? Anyway, welcome to the party, pal. Just another day in paradise. What can I tell you? Let me take a peek at something here. I'm kind of curious myself. Just bear with me as I, go on the internet myself in front of all of you here, where it's 7:55 Eastern time. Welcome to the program, everybody. SoFi earnings day. We'll start trading at 9:30 Eastern, and we'll really see what the market is up to. And let's take a look here at. I'm trying to literally use my computer right now while I'm on the air, and of course it's running extremely slow because of all the apps I've got going on. Not to mention this live app to try to talk to you through StreamYard as we wait and try to figure out what's going on. 16.55 last trade in the pre-market on SoFi, down 181 they say at the moment, pre-market only, and volume I'm certain is several millions of shares as we are just grinding this thing out. 10 million of volume now. 10 million volume. Okay, good. There are shorters out there trying to short this stock, and they might be bumping 5 million shares higher on the short side here, which would create a bigger squeeze going down, down the road here. Let's see. Let's see what we got here. Earnings per share, 12 cents, meets the estimate. They say, and I'm having trouble digging up company news for whatever reason. Usually on Market Watch, you can not only get news, that's out there from the street, but you can also get company news. And for whatever reason, I'm not able to get the company news. It's almost like they've been shut off from speaking to us. Isn't that odd? That's interesting. Never a dull moment out there, is there? Okay. Just looking at headlines here. SoFi just set a slew of lending records, but here's why the stock is following. Another headline: why is SoFi stock tumbling despite earnings doubling? SoFi must win back Wall Street's confidence. Strong earnings are a start. These are just comments coming in from some of the outfits, and I don't have the official company headline here, which is what I'd really like to have. I'd like to have, in my ability to read this, the actual commentary from SoFi directly. So I'm going to try and get it off of Google. 1660 on the stock, down 178 right now, as we are waiting the opening, which is still an hour and a half away. Just approaching now 8 o'clock Eastern time, with a 9:30 opening coming up. SoFi News. Let's see if I can get SoFi News to pop up here on Google. That'd be kind of nice if I could get that. I don't know if I can get that. See where we're all getting our news from these days. SoFi Investor Relations. Let's see if this works. Earnings call is on, I would imagine. Curious to see what they have to say there. Okay, corporate overview news. SoFi reports first quarter 2026 with record net revenue of $1.1 billion, record number of product growth, net income of $167 million. This is from SoFi itself, from its investor relations page, which any of you can find yourselves if you wish. I just figured I'd look at it myself. Adjusted revenue is up 41% to a record of $1.1 billion. That beats everybody. Adjusted EBITDA up 62% to a record $340 million. Total loan originations at a record $12.2 billion. Member growth up 35% to a record 14.7 million members. Product growth up 39% to a record 22.2 million products. We had an excellent first quarter, delivering another quarter of durable growth and strong returns, fueled by our relentless focus on innovation and brand building. Members grew 35% and products increased 39%, with 43% of new products coming from existing members as more people choose SoFi as their trusted partner for major financial decisions and all the days in between, said Anthony Noto, CEO of SoFi. All righty. A year ago, for the first 3 months, total net revenue was $771 million. This year, $1.1 billion, 43% higher. Earnings last year, $71 million in the first quarter. This year, $166 million, up 134%. 6 cents a share last year, net profit in the first quarter. This year, 12 cents a share. This is the worst quarter of the year, first quarter of the year, by the way. Amazing. SoFi had a record 1.1 million new members in the first quarter to 14.7 million members. If you're adding 1.1 million members in 90 days, divide that by 9, I think you're adding about 11, 12,000 members a day now. This is the third consecutive quarter of 35% growth in members. SoFi also added a record 1.8 million products from the prior year, up to 22 million. That's up 43%. Accelerated revenue growth and increasing profitability. Adjusted net revenue beat expectations, reaching 1.1 billion first quarter, up 41%. Adjusted EBITDA $340 million, up 62%. SoFi delivered an 18th consecutive quarter of exceeding the rule of 40 with a score of 72%, demonstrating the strength of its diversified business and solid execution. People are shorting this stock. Are you kidding me? You're shorting this stock. Advancing digital asset infrastructure, accelerating innovation across the business, achieving record loan originations, delivering strong and consistent credit performance, strengthening brand awareness and trust. Well, there you go. It's all available for you to read and dig into, and people will be digging. Don't worry about that. In the first quarter of 2025, the company had 10.9 million members. Now they have 14.7 million members. Do you think a year from now they're going to have 20 million members or 22 million members and their business is going to go down? I don't think so. Unbelievable. Just absolutely unbelievable how they're growing here. Anyway, I'm just a guy in front of a computer going, I like this company. I think that they're growing quite nicely in an economy where branches with physical locations may not be able to grow as well as these guys are growing. Just sort of thinking, they're cash rich and are delivering on the bottom line. 11.3 million have traded now in the pre-market. 1669 last trade, down 167. Those of you who are long-term believers in this stock and you're able to buy shares in the open market, in the pre-market, you may want to try to gobble some of these up right now, because I don't know if the shares are going to trade at 1660 when we open for trading at 9:30 Eastern. I don't know if we're going to open at $17, 1620, 1750, 1580, 1830, 1495. I don't know. But if you're thinking 3 years from now to still be a shareholder of this company, and you're buying them at 1664, this is my opinion, by the way. It's not financial advice. This is my opinion. This might not be a bad entry point. Just kind of wondering. I'm just a guy trying to figure this all out. Welcome, everybody, to the program. Let's see. What's going on here? I'm new here, says Christina. I don't think you're that new. Is the stock supposed to go down when earnings are good? Buy the dip. What do you think? Aaron Ace, hey, thanks for explaining all this. Christina, I'm here. Number 43 thumbs ups. Thank you to those of you giving us thumbs ups today. Are you answering my poll question out there? Anybody? Good morning from Andrea. Buongiorno, everybody. Lisa, Uncle Bruce, go to the SoFi investor page. We just did. Thank you, everybody. Time to sell some cash secured puts on SoFi. You couldn't have picked a better day to write cash secured puts. How you doing? Also, Iron Man. Welcome. I love this. Brent is showing $115 a barrel today. I'm showing that too. And there's a comment. When SoFi gets their bank charter, it'll go up 50%. Snaps fingers, just like that. There you go. I remember, pardon me, I remember back in 2021 when we were talking about GameStop and SoFi and these other SPACs. I remember how we were patiently waiting for SoFi to get their bank charter. By the way, Rugman is alive and well this morning. Yoink. We were waiting for SoFi to get their bank charter, and the stock was like $5, $6, $7. It had reached a high of 25. It had come all the way back down, and all through 21 and 22 and 2023. Remember those years? We were watching the stock go from the 5s to the 9s, then back to the 7s, and then try to get to 10, and then back to the 6s, and I would just tell you guys, write $10 cash secured puts that expire in 2025. 25, 26, 24. Remember those years? A lot of you made a lot of money doing that. You did extremely well. Anyway, Good morning, everybody. Thank you for saying hi to me. Tom Kaufman is in the house. Say hi to me, everybody. How you been? I haven't seen some of these names in a long time. Say hello if you don't mind. Zeta State, good morning, everybody. Hi there. Nice picture of that Beamer you got there. Good morning. I have covered calls I need to buy back. And remember MTTR? I remember that I was so mad I missed that bull run. Still salty about that. Lisa, let's buy some leaps for 2028. Look, if you want to buy call options on SoFi, I generally don't talk to you about buying options, but oh my gosh, if you can buy options this morning that expire in 2028, like, I don't know, 18s, 20s, 22s, and you're prepared to do this, I'm going to buy leaps for way out there and just not do anything with them. If they go in the money, if I buy, say, a $16 leap today, I pay I don't know what you got to pay for it for 2028. And the stock goes to $20 a share a month from now, 2 months from now, a year from now, it's trading at 24, 28, whatever it's trading at. It's in the money, your option. You could then write options on your option and write poor man covered calls. And you could play that game. Certainly you can play the game. Obviously, if you can buy a $10 leap, can you buy $10 call options at the 90-10 rule? Oh, you can write options right now. But let's see how it goes. 1686, by the way, right now. I would not be surprised between right now, 8:08 Eastern and about 9:29 Eastern, that the shares go to $17.50, $18, $18.25. Don't be shocked at that. But again, I'm not guaranteeing it. I just wouldn't be surprised. We're 1686 right now on 11 million volume according to the CNBC website. 12.4 million traded now on as far as CNBC says. On SoFi, 1687. The low this morning, 1663 maybe. Was it that cheap? Was it 1630? Has it been that low? I don't know. I don't know if it's been that low, but we're here, and I'm just saying, kids. I'm just a guy going. I think they're on sale. I think these shares are on sale, and I think they're a little too cheap to be tolerated. But I can't control the pre-market. I can't control shorters. I think that the followers of Muddy Waters have been instructed by Muddy Waters. Today is the day to short more stock. Let's really put the boots to these guys and show the street that this stock doesn't deserve to be even $12 a share. And in the pre-market, there you go. That's what's going on. There's a lot of day trading going on right now, I believe. There are buyers who are buying the stock at 1660 and selling it at 1665. And they're buying it at 1661 and trying to sell it at 1668. And they're trying to get pennies on thousands of shares because they have commission-free trading, or they have half a penny a share commissions. There's a lot of that going on. Just a guy speculating on what really is happening and why it's happening and how it's happening. But I kind of have a suspicion that it might have a little run as we come to the opening, as some of the cautious money is going, I think this is a buy down here, because I will be prepared to hold this for 2 years. I'm not interested in 2 weeks. On the other hand, there may well be a lot of people out there going, I'm going to buy this at $16.60, $16.70, $16.80, $17, because I think in the next 3 months, the stock will be 20. It'll touch 20 in the next 3 months. And I'll take a $3 profit on this. I'll buy it at $16.60, sell it at $19.60, and I'm a freaking genius. I'm making $3 a share on a $16 stock. I'm making 18% profit. And if I'm using margin, again, these are gamblers. I use margin, I'm only paying $8 a share to buy this stuff, $9 a share to buy this stuff. And I can make a $3 profit on a swing trade, whether it's a week, a month, or a quarter from now. I'm making $3 on $8. Is there something wrong with that? A lot of people don't think there's a problem with it. Of course, option writers are going, yeah, I could play that game, but you know what I think I'll do? I'll write options on this stock First of all, I'm going to buy back calls I've written, any 20s, 22s, 25s, and 30s. I'm going to score them back here. If the shares want to truly trade at 16 during the day today, I'm happy to buy back. But I'm going to be rewriting new calls a week or two or three from now. Just like guys are getting out at 19, I'm going to be writing 20s or 22s or 25s when it is back to 19. And I'm going to take a nicer premium again. There you go. It's all good. In theory, you could buy the stock right now at 16.70 a share, 16, so whatever it's trading at. And you could, in theory, this morning, in the first hour of trading, if we're trading in that $17, $18 range in the first hour, you could write $18 calls and just say, I'm writing $18 calls, good for 3 months. I can get $2 for them. Again, I'm speculating. Bought the stock at 16.70 and writing $18 calls for a $2 cash hit. You're selling at $20. You're saying, take me out at 18. I got the $2 premium. I'm getting $20. I just bought it for 16.75 a share. Take me out at 20. I'm a gambler, but I'm not gambling by buying the stock and hoping it goes to 20. I'm buying the stock at these dips and writing $18 calls and hoping to be taken out. If the stock goes to 18.75, I might get taken out at 18, but I got 20. There are others out there who are going to go, Uncle Bruce, I'm going to go even further than that. I'm going to buy this stock at 16.69 a share right now, and I'm going to write $20 calls when we start trading. I'm going to get 20 January 27s, excuse me, for like 8 months from now. I'm going to write those for $3 a piece. And if I get taken out at 20, I get $23 a share for a 1665 stock, 1670 stock. Take me out at 23, man. I'm making $7 something a share here on a $16 stock. Is there something wrong with any of this? No, no. If you're like me, and many of you are, you're a lifer. You're looking at SoFi going, this isn't a flip, in my opinion. This is a long-term investment strategy. I'm happy to hold the stock I have, buy more stock this morning if I can. I'll even use margin to buy stock this morning, and let the stock trade away for the next few days, weeks. And if it pops into the 18, 19 range, I might well write 20 or 22s for January 27 or June 27, Jan 28. I'll go out there. I might even write 22s or 23s or 25s and take a $4 premium or a $3 premium for a $25 strike out far enough, because I just bought a bunch here at 16.70 a share. Take me out at 25 6 months from now. I dare you. The stock goes to $28, $29 and you get taken out theoretically, plus the premium you just sold for $28 to $30 a share. Is that an okay trade? Yeah. On the other hand, you write 20s, the stock goes up, you buy your 20s back, you roll into 22s further out, you buy them back, the stock keeps going up, you write 25s further out. Eventually you do have January 28s out there with a $28 strike price. So you just bought stock at 16 and you're offering it at 28 plus the premium you got. Loser? I don't think so. There you go. Anyway, just a guy. I'm just a guy. Hi, Bruce from Gonzo Cruiser. Welcome to the show. Richard Carlin, I saw a low of 1643. That's how low I think I saw it at. Christina, call options were juicy this week. I sold calls 20 for 54 cents, laugh out loud. I'll be buying them back for super cheap. Tommy, disappointed in SoFi and everybody else. Okay, Tommy, not the best earnings today, Tommy thinks. Mark, good morning, all. I nibbled shares at 16.55. I'm stealing them, and I think you are stealing stock. Listening to Noto speaking, says Tommy. Christina, I'll also be buying back my $20 cover calls I sold last week that expired in September. I got $3.35 for those, laughing out loud. I sold 26 of them, laughing out loud. There you go, Christina, making money, writing options. Doug, good morning, Doug. Good morning, Uncle Bruce, and everybody. Go SoFi. Be the house, not the casino. Exactly right. If you're an option writer, you're a casino. And take the premiums and say, thank you, sir, may I have another? I'll be looking this morning at my options. I wrote January 27 $20 calls. I wrote them. Jen and I wrote them for like $4.10. We might buy them back this morning. The stock wants to sit at 16 something this morning, and we can get them back for under $3. I might well be a buyer of those contracts and say, thank you for the $1, $10, $20, whatever that is. I don't know if they're going to be trading at 280, 320. I don't know. We'll see. But then again, we might not buy them back at all. We might just sit there and go, yeah, I'm here for the longer haul. I'm not here for this week. But you give me an opportunity for a real nice little profit where I can rewrite these calls a week from now for like 375 for what I might do that. On the other hand, I may only write September's. I might buy back the Januaries and then wait, and I might write September 20s. I might write September 18s, depending on the stock in the next week and a half. I can roll those. I'm not afraid to roll. I'm not afraid at all. We'll see what gives. I'm around for a while. There you have it. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the show. Great to have you here. Have any of you answered my poll question of the day? The poll question of the day is out there. I'm asking you, where do you think the stock will be about a month from now? Where do you think SoFi is going to be in about a month from now? So far, 52 votes have come in on my vertical format. 65% of you think it'll be over 20. 23% of you think 25, and 12% of you think it'll be over $30 a share. On this format, the bigger format here, we've got 132 votes. 63% say it'll be over 20, 23% say over 25, and 14% over 30. Very close, similar reaction to both same poll question on both formats. Thank you all very much for being part of the show today. 1680 now on SoFi. Are we grinding back as we get to the opening? Are we grinding back to $18 a share before the opening and at the opening? That is the question. We did hit the low, mid 16s? Was that the low today-ish? We're approaching 14 million shares traded now, according to CNBC's latest trade indicator. We'll see what gives there. Welcome all to the program. SoFi, 1.1 billion in revenue. The street was calling 1.05 billion. The pessimists were saying 1.04 billion. No one was calling 1.1 billion. Nobody. Not even the company. Remember, the company did not say we were going to do 1.1 billion. They exceeded the number on the top end. They made 160 million on the bottom end. They made 12 cents a share net profit. 12 cents a share net profit. They matched the street. They exceeded on growth, matched the street, growing their loan business, growing the company. Almost 15 million members. Oh my God. What do you think the upside is for SoFi with how many members can they get to? How many members will SoFi ultimately have? 15 million members means 15 million customers. 15 million customers. A year ago, it was, what did we say it was a year ago? 11, 12 million? Now it's 15 million. I think it was 10 million a year ago. When I started following this stock with you guys, when it was a SPAC, and then they rolled in and completed the roll through and all that, the stock, they had 2.5 million members, 2 million, 3 million members. Remember those days? You remember when they hit 5 million members? We all went, oh wow, I got 5 million members. They're approaching 15 million members. What do you think the upside is? GameStop has followers on their website, 55 million. Costco paying membership fees of $60 to $130 a year for their Costco cards. What do they got? 55, 60 million members. Can SoFi reach 25 million members? Is that all they're going to ever get? Will SoFi ever get to 30, 35 million members? Could they be a year from now 22 to 24 million members? Is that an indication the company is worth $10 a share, $12 a share, 25 million members projected a year from now. 2 years from now, could they be 30 to 33 million members? 3 years from now, 40, 45 million members. Is that a $10 stock? Is that a $15 stock? Is that a $16.75 stock in 3 years? 36 months. You have to compartmentalize it. They're growing by about 12,000 subscribers or members a day. 12,000 members a day are joining SoFi every 7 days a week. That's 100,000 a week. If I got my numbers right, that's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. Anyway. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Say hi to me. Where are you at, kids? Thank everybody. Coffee's kicking in, says Juan. Good morning, everybody. Welcome, Juan. Great to see you. Boeing Tiger in the house. Good morning to you. Juan is saying the good thing about having taken all the classes is that I wrote calls and got cash ready to sell some cash secured puts, ready for whichever direction this thing wants to take today. Neat, neat, neat. Don't forget the knee emojis, everybody. The Knights of Knee are controlling this. A son of, you know what? Good morning, everyone. When SoFi was just a SPAC, I bought shares at 17. Now I might be cheaper than the original purchase. Definitely time for more. Big number two industry says, what does the market want? I don't even think they know what they want from SoFi. Why is the SoFi a buyout target at this price? Christina, what other channel is bullish about the stock and excited for the dip? You can tell we know the game. There you go. Yeah, I love SoFi. I'm not holding my emotions back. Everything I give you is my opinion. And I think SoFi is such a winner. This business strategy that they've employed and the way they put their company together, absolute winner. They have the lowest cost per customer, I think, in the business. They have one of the highest net margin returns in the business per customer, and it's only getting better. It will only grow. And if they can now start adding, 15,000 new members a day to 20,000 new members a day, they'll add 500,000 to 600,000 members a month to the company customer list. That's 7 million a year. 600,000 customers a month is 7 million new members a year. That means next year, 22 million in the first quarter of next year, 22 million customers. I don't think the stock going to be 16 something dollars a share very long. Good morning, Uncle Bruce from Computer Wiz. Thank you. Zed Estate, I have $10 covered calls. I have been rolling for years, buying back today. Giddy up. Kids, it's up to you how you feel about SoFi and its timing. If you're a 5-minute investor, you're upset. If you're a 5-day investor, you're happy, you're sad. If you're a 5-month investor, you're going, I think the shares could be quite a bit higher than where they are here. If you're like me, Auntie Jen and I, you're looking at SoFi going, I've been watching it since 2021. That's 5 years. 5 years from now, when I'm 75, God willing, what will SoFi be in 5 years from now? Not 16.77 a share. They're not going to be 18.50. They're not going to be 22.25. In the next year or two, they're going to be an S&P 500 listed stock. They're going to be probably a top 30 bank in America. They're number 50 now. Remember when they were 150 3 years ago? You remember those days? This isn't going to be a $30 stock in 3 or 4 years from now. It's going to be a $100 stock in 3-4 years from now. I'm pretty certain of it. But you gotta look past today's headlines. Get past the 8-second attention span, because that is what a lot of people are caught with right now. They keep forgetting that they're 8-second attention span people. And that's what we have right now on this market. 1683. Have you noticed the relentless move up penny by penny lately? Just relentlessly coming up a little more, not to kind of, shock and awe, but it just, to me, I just see a little move back to 17, and I think we're going to blow through that. And Going to get to 1725. We're going to hit 1750. I wouldn't be surprised if we are approaching $18 at the opening. I wouldn't be shocked. Am I calling it? No, I would not be shocked. Let's just see what's going on. Welcome to the party, everybody. What can I say? When did YouTube change everyone's name to their handle? Vash, so much easier than the name I made. I think after I killed the membership program when I wasn't alive every day anymore. Maybe that happened. Rodent, Uncle Bruce, are we talking SoFi next week around 100? Just kidding. Do you think it could go quickly to 30? Boy, that'd be fun. I don't know. There are a couple of things that can happen that would move the market dramatically quickly. One, an activist investor. Two, a long-term Buffett kind of investor picking up 5-10% of the stock. Three, serious rumors about S&P 500 inclusion. But again, not today. Not today. Hector, yes, coffee is kicking in. Uncle Bruce, when you suggested writing $35 calls for Jan 27, I did that. They are now bought back. Nice profits. There you go. Zed, I just got 500 shares at 1680. Thank you very much for the cheap paper. I really do appreciate it. You're stealing paper from innocent victims. I say do it. And hopefully you bought from a shorter, because we're now 1687 a share as we are slowly ticking up a penny by penny by penny by penny per share. Question is, where will the stock be in 1 hour? In 1 hour from now when we open for the day? We're now at 8:28 Eastern. We're at 1686, down $1.50 on 14.9 million. Do we hit $18 by the opening? Do we actually go up in the first hour of trading and be trading at 1950 this morning? Could we be at $20 a share by Friday morning? Could we be $22.50 next week, Tuesday, Wednesday? And gazillions of people out there are going, why did I buy this stuff at $16.50 a share? $16.60, $16.70, $16.80, $16.90, $17, $17.10, $20, $30, $40. Why? There you go. Welcome everybody to the program. $16.91 on SoFi. There it is, pre-market. Where are the sellers all of a sudden? Where are all these millions of shares for sale? Where's the disaster? I don't know if these shares are going to last long at these prices. I could be wrong. Look, we might open at 1710 and then go to 1580 in the first 10 minutes of trading. I don't know. Buy the dip. If you're in it for 5 minutes, I can't help you. If you're in it for 5 years, I can help you. If you're in for a year, I think I can help you. If you're, looking between now and the second quarter release and the third quarter and the fourth quarter coming up later this year, I think you're going to be very happy with what's going on here. I'm very happy with the last 4 quarters of results. I'm very happy with the last 12 quarters of results. I see a pattern here. 12 quarters of results look like a very good pattern to me. I don't know about to you, but I'm just a guy. Cheers, everybody. Caffeine-free Diet Coke kicking in. $16.95 right here. Just saying, welcome all, and thank you. Rodents on the road, for sure. I'm not expecting $30. Just curious about your thoughts. SanDisk just reached, I think, 200% in 5 months. And just bought 70 with a 2-time margin for a little trade. I'm already up. You helped me for 5 minutes and in the long term, Uncle Bruce. Hola from whoever this is. I don't know who that is, but hello. Good morning, and thank you for saying hi. Not up a lot, but what I'm doing. Welcome all. 1697. We're approaching the $17 range. Are we going to find any resistance there? And what if we do break 17? Do we immediately jump 20 cents to 17.20 because the street goes, oh, that's selling at 16.40 and 50 is gone to 16.60, 16.70 that's all. It's coming back. Do I get in now? Do I believe it now? Do I, now that I see the train leaving the station, do I now believe the train is leaving the station? Like, do I now believe it? We'll see. 1690, 1695. We'll see what happens. I might buy 100 at the opening. There you go, Aaron. You never know. Luring Angler Fisher is in the house saying good morning, everybody. Welcome to the program. Great to have you in the house. Missed you. Great to see you, folks. Jen and I are doing great. Somebody asked me earlier, are you planning another trip, Uncle Bruce? Because, you've been traveling every year now since 2021. You go on a bit of a trip every year. And Jen and I just got back at the end of, around the end of March, middle of March, end of March. We got back here from an around the world trip. My second around the world trip in 6 months. I did my first one last August, September, October last year, where I went from Calgary to Japan to Singapore to Dubai to Europe to here. This trip we did on New Year's Eve. We left and went to London together, Malta, back to London, caught a cruise ship from Southampton all the way to Singapore, 42 days, and then we went to Tokyo and then flew back here. So Jen now has done an around the world trip. I've done 2 around the world trips now. What's our next trip? And we're kind of thinking about an all Canadian trip. I'm thinking about seeing my country. Thinking about an across the country trip. It might be a couple to kind of pull it off, because to travel from British Columbia to Newfoundland, you're talking 5,000 kilometers. We're talking 3,000 miles. And we're thinking of doing it on the road, not flying, but driving it. And so this is not a 1 week, let's do this trip, or how fast can we drive across the country. This could be quite an extended trip. But in Canada, we have something called seasons to keep in mind. And I'm not interested in traveling in the winter and anywhere near the threat of winter. And so we're pondering a number of possibilities, Jennifer and I. We are pondering a lot of possibilities. And one of the possibilities that is being pondered is the acquisition of a new vehicle, because we cannot travel with what we have. My 2011 Hyundai Sonata ain't leaving town, if you kind of get my drift. And so I am actively considering the possibility of a vehicle upgrade. And the one upgrade that I have fantasized about since 2021, when many of you began to follow me way back when, is the acquisition of the possibility of a Tesla and the acquisition of a Model Y all-wheel drive Tesla. Now, that vehicle in this country is about a 75,000 Canadian dollar acquisition. And that requires serious thought. And I'm not interested in grabbing a Tesla and not going anywhere. I'm thinking if we did get it, it would be because we would be doing this type of a trip. But this type of a trip might take us the total of a year to do. We might do a few months of this trip first, this summer, fall, and the balance next summer, fall. And we'll see how this works. Looking into the possibility of the British Columbia portion, where we would drive from here to Vancouver, to Victoria, British Columbia by ferry, Vancouver Island, several weeks, and then a ferry ride to Prince Rupert, 18 hours by ferry, and then across the middle of British Columbia to Jasper, and back to Calgary. That might be the first stage of a true Canadian trip. The second stage would be from Calgary, heading east towards Ontario, Quebec, New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, Newfoundland, PEI, and back over 3 months. We're talking about a long series of trips where we don't drive 12 hours a day for 10 days in a row. None of that nonsense. We'll see what happens. And then we may have some meet and greets along the way. One never knows about that. Christina just got 200 at 1690. Roden says, yes, please. There's a lot. There's not a lot Canada traveling at YouTube. You should do some YouTube traveling. I recommend Robert Alaska. Z Estate, Tesla, the Tesla. He's talking about the Tesla. Range Rover, there will be no Range Rover in my future ever, not even remotely interested. Tortuga de Rio, wondering what's going on. Z Estate, Vancouver. Hey, I'm in Vancouver. Aurora, a true Canadian trip sounds amazing. And how would you manage it with the Tesla battery? Superchargers and regular chargers everywhere, not a problem in Canada. JJ Neptune, what time does Uncle Bruce do the bagel nosh? Not planning a bagel nosh. Not really. We've got 3 minutes to go before the opening, less than an hour now, and we're at 1680 with a little pullback here. Are we going to break through 17 and higher before the opening? Wouldn't surprise me at all if we even got to 18 before the opening. I don't know. I'm not going to tell you it's happening. I don't think we're going to 14 before the opening. I don't think so. Let's see what's going on. JJ, I'm taking side bets. Christina, would you do it in a Tesla? Because it's expensive. Very interested in a Tesla to do the Canada trip. Very interested. Vilba, we did a 2-month, 13,500 mile circle of the U.S. in 16. Want to do something similar, but better again. Learned a lot the first time. Yep, we're thinking of quite a while. I'm trying to convince Auntie Jen, look, if we're going to do a Canada trip, a real once in a lifetime Canada trip, we're going to need a lot of time to do this, because I don't want to be one night here, one night here, one night here. I don't want to do that. I'd be quite happy to get to Victoria, British Columbia, spend a week in Victoria, drive the island, the Vancouver Island, a good chunk of the island, 2 weeks, a good 2-week time frame. Interior British Columbia, both directions, a week each, at least a week each direction. I'm not interested in, get it done. I'm not interested. So we'll see. We'll see. Aaron, come to Ottawa. Ottawa is in play. Montreal, Quebec City, Sherbrooke, St. John's, Moncton, Halifax, Nova Scotia, top to bottom, Prince Edward Island, The Rock, Toronto, of course, Southern Ontario, where I grew up, Northern Ontario, Manitoba, Saskatchewan, absolutely, the whole thing. Anyway, there you go. Rodents, the Model Y is as big as a Land Rover. It's just as roomy as a Land Rover. Vilbus in a Subaru Outback. No, I don't think so. Would be YouTube, another good story, a road trip with a Tesla. Charlie, I'd love to host you and Auntie Jen at my cottage at the lake in Quebec for a day or two if you make it this far east. How about that? Thank you all so very much. Like I say, when we know, you'll know. At the moment, we're talking because we just got back a month and a bit ago from our round the world cruise and trip, and our spring weather is about to explode. We're going to be about 56, 60 degrees here today. We're going to be close to 70 degrees by the weekend here. Finally warming a little bit up. We've had some quirky weather, as some of you had, I know, around the country. And we kind of like summers in Calgary. We really do enjoy the summers in Calgary. Thank you, everybody, so very, very much. Son of Fazab says, I only support this Tesla trip if you get Yoko Ono decals covering the car. Thank you, everybody else. Yeah, I've been keen on a Tesla. I've been looking to get a Tesla for years. We've been renting one every winter when we're in the desert, and enjoy them very much. But we've started to take a peek at maybe getting a Tesla Model Y here. This would probably be the last car we ever get if everything worked out. And we would have no trouble charging it, because I'm not in a desperate rush to cover the country in a hurry, and I need a charger now. I'm quite easygoing. If we're staying in a hotel where they offer me 110 power, and I add 5 miles an hour range to my battery, I'm okay with that. The car's going to sit for 12, 14 hours overnight, and we'll drive a little bit the next day, and then another 12, 14-hour charge again. I'll always be at 50 to 80% charge on a battery. Never going to drain it out. That is not the plan. So it shouldn't have an issue at all. Mark Gibson in Houston, it's 90 degrees here in Houston, Texas. Oh my God, unbelievable. Yeah, we're interested in driving in 60 to 80 degree weather. I'd like to see some of the glaciers in British Columbia a little bit more. I'd like to be in some of the more mountainous country there through the summer. Vancouver Island, I have not been to Vancouver Island for an extended time. I'd really like to do that. Like to go up the coast of British Columbia. I'd like to drive through the interior of BC. I'm not in a rush to get this done in a super hurry. Never been to Jasper. I've never been to Jasper. It's a half a day drive from here. Never been to Jasper. I'd like to spend a couple of nights in Jasper. Just saying. Anyway, what can I say? My grandparents said the same thing about their Mercedes. And now, I think 5 years later, they're thinking about a new car now. They've had it for 5 years. What can I say? What else is going on here? I can go too. Laughing out loud, says Andre Delatorre. Can I come to your cottage in Quebec? Love to spend some time with you. Giddy up. Thank you, everybody, for popping in and saying hi. Great to have you. Welcome to the program, and just good to see you all. Thank you for joining me live from wherever you are, and welcome to the program. Okay. What can I say? Nice to have you here. 1690 again on Sofi. Earnings came out today. They beat the street. They beat their estimates. No surprise. They always do that. The question now is how the street really think about the stock. There's always a speculation that, the stock always goes down after earnings. Well, for how far and how long? 1686 to 1690 on the market right now, roughly. SoFi shares have traded 16.4 million shares in the pre-market. We are 45 minutes away from opening on the day. The question is, will the shares be in the 16 area? Will they be in the 17 area? Will they actually be in the 18 area by the time they actually do start to trade? Time will find out with time. It's always going to give us the answer. I think this is a dip. I think this is an opportunity to get cheap stock, but I'm just a guy. Options are going to be trading after 9:30 Eastern. Some of you are going to take advantage of buybacks of calls that you've written. Others are going to take advantage of writing cash secured puts this morning for some excellent premiums. Great way to go. If you're an option, you want to be an option trader and really learn how to be an option writer, go to my website, stockmarketswithbruce.ca. This is where you're going to find the info you need on how to become an option writer. And if you're really serious about making money on SoFi or any other stock, you want to be an option writer. Absolutely the way to go. Do not get sucked in with all the propaganda out there that it's not the right way to go. Again, up to you to decide how you want to play this game. 1684 now on SoFi shares as we're approaching the $17 mark. The pre-market on the Dow is down 61. S&P down about 5 3/4 points. NASDAQ is up 46. Oil this morning is up 373 in Texas at 103.66. We'll see how that plays out. Gold down $39 an ounce at 4,500. Did gold top out at 5,400? Was that the high of gold? Unbelievable. Silver 72.94 down 27 cents. And these are uncertain times. And these commodities are going down in value. Isn't that amazing? Quite unbelievable. Thank you all for popping by and saying hello. Have you answered my poll question of the day today? It looks like I've got 163 votes on one of my broadcasts today on the phone. Those of you answering on the phone, 61 answers for the poll question. I appreciate you participating in the poll question. Curious what you think the stock will be a month from now. Where will SoFi be a month from now versus where they are today? 20, 25, 30, over which level? I'd love to get your thoughts on that. By all means, please participate. Thank you for saying hi from wherever you are today. Lovely to have you here. And thank you, everybody. Christina says, as you know, I've got 2 Model 3s. I love it. Look at the price of gas. I had an Uber ride yesterday in a Tesla Model 3, and I was asking the guy, are you happy with your Tesla? Oh, yeah, I love my Tesla. He says, I love my Tesla. I charge it at home every day. I only drive part-time. I charge my Tesla up in the evening, and then I drive part-time Uber during the day on electricity. It's great, man. I love this game. This is great. The car is fantastic. Low maintenance. I can get it repaired if I need it repaired. It doesn't break down. Yeah, he says, I love this car. It's the only advice I would give anyone, because he knows I'm looking at one. You want to get winter tires in the winter. If you're going to be here in the winter, you want to have winter tires. For Jen and I, the strategy would be to get a Model Y, travel Canada in the summer, and then for the winter in fall, head south to California, and maybe get all-season tires for it. That would be our game plan. But, I'm more than happy to pay electricity prices for the car rather than gasoline prices, especially California. Oh, my God. Or Canada, across this country, you're paying $5-6 a gallon in Canada to get gas. Electricity, $2 to $3 a gallon equivalent. I'll pay that happily if I had to through a supercharger. If I could get a 110 outlet at a hotel, motel, it'll be free. Thank you very much. Give me 50, 60, 80 miles a day of range. For every day I'm plugged in, 100 miles of range, I'm okay. I'm not putting up 500 miles a day on the car. No problem at all. Here in the city, my landlord in my apartment building has told me, you get a Tesla, I'll put you into a parking stall. Right now I'm downstairs anyway. I'll put you in a parking stall next to a 110 outlet. You can plug it in there, and you won't. There's no charge for that. You don't suck enough energy to worry. How about that? Thank you very much. No gasoline charges. Last time I filled up the Hyundai I have was last week. $80, $80 to fill up the Hyundai with gas at Costco. Canadian, $80. So yeah, if I can save that every month, it's $1,000 a year. Just regular driving, saving $1,000 a year on because I'm using electricity instead of gasoline. Thank you very much. Hey, $1,000 is $1,000 after tax. That's okay. 1673 on Tesla with 40 minutes to go before we open for trading today. Welcome, everybody. Melissa, I love my Tesla. No service of any kind. It's been just worry-free. Thank you, Gunny Bar. Welcome, Brer. You're back. Yippee. I have a Tesla too. Giddy up. There's so many happy, very quiet Tesla owners out there who love their cars. Why not? I've rented a Model 3. I've rented a Model Y. I've rented a Model X for extended periods of time. I've been very happy with them. No problem. Anyway, there you go. Christina, my plan, buy back what I sold, then buy more shares with the profit. Well, there you have it. See what you want to do. 1672 now on the Tesla shares. SoFi shares, pardon me, on a volume of 17 million. 17 million pre-market volume now, 1672 down 164. And we'll see if this war between shorters and longs, where it goes as we get to the opening in 38 minutes from now. 38 minutes, we'll see the opening come through, and we'll just see how it happens. I won't be with you at the opening, though. I will be watching my computer as I get ready to possibly buy back my calls, depending on the opening in the first hour. See where we're at, and let's go from there. Gunny Brer, someone say the war is over. So the market messed up. But Christina, I also plan on selling my cash secured puts on GameStop to get more stock. I may even do cash secured puts on SoFi. I'm interested in what premium is going to be. By the way, I charge my Tesla at home with a mobile charger. Yep, a lot of folks have that 220 outlet or 240, that 240 volt outlet or whatever that's called, the one you use for your dryer, your washer and your dryer for your dryer. If you're going to be in your home for 3 years, 5 years, you get that installed in your garage, the outlet, and then get the home charger from Tesla, and you can charge at 35 miles an hour overnight. 5 hours a night, you got 175 miles of range added to your car. I mean, those who own a Tesla know that you get home, you close the garage door, you plug in your own car inside the garage. I do it with a 110 outlet when I'm down south. You do it with a 220 outlet or whatever it is. You're never going to go to a supercharger unless you're going out of town. I mean, only then do you do a supercharger. Most of the time, you trickle it in. Cheap. It's a giveaway. It's a gift that keeps on giving. Gunny Bear, yep. Charging at home is worth it. Absolutely. I know some of you, depending on where you live, you're able to charge your Tesla at night using the cheap electricity rates. You know when the rates are the lowest, and your car can measure that, and through your software, and you charge at the lowest kilowatt hour per hour rate. The savings just keep piling up. I commend you who have done that. I think it's fantastic. Thank you all so much for commenting on that. Thank you for following me today on the SoFi story. I cannot overemphasize what a bargain I think SoFi is here this morning at 1670. I think under $20, this is such a giveaway. So many innocent people out there who could know about SoFi don't, or aren't hearing the story, or won't get the story, or will get another story. That's the way the market is. What can I tell you, folks? It's up to you to decide what you're going to do with SoFi and how you're going to do it. I know the path. That was easy, as a matter of fact. That was easy. I know the path forward for myself and Jen. We're long-termers, and we're going to enjoy SoFi for years and years and years. Today won't matter. And Gunny Bra says, you know what? I'm in Edmonton, and yes, you're right. Charging at 3 a.m. is cheaper than charging at 3 in the afternoon or at 7 at night. It's super cheap to charge the car in the evening. When you're asleep and your car is charging up at a third of the price, half the price, 30% less than you would normally pay, that's just smart economics, and that's just smart thinking. More power to you. Buying SoFi today on the dip might be a really good idea for those of you out there taking advantage of it. We'll see a week from now, a month from now, 6 months from now, a year from now. How is SoFi doing? Where has it been in the last year? Where will it be in the next year, 2 years? It's all up to you to decide what to do with your SoFi. I love it. I think the company's doing the right thing, the right way, and I'm not at all dissuaded from sticking around and enjoying the show. Speaking of the show, I'm going to pack it in. The voice is going. Thank you all so much for joining me today. 140 of you are here right now. This is awesome. I appreciate it. Give us a thumbs up if you can. Thank you for answering the poll question today. Good luck with your SoFi. Check out the classes, stockmarketswithbruce.ca. 19 lessons on how to become an option writer and get richer. Get your fair share of the action. Thank you all. Have a wonderful session today. We open in about 32, 33 minutes. I'll be watching, and let's see what happens. And we'll kind of go from there. The next time I go live, who knows? Keep an eye, and we'll catch up with you. Thanks again, everybody. The best to all of you and your family. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you, Charlie, and everyone who's been here all morning. Have a fantastic session. Get richer, please, and let me know how you're doing. Okay, kids? All right, this is Uncle Bruce, Auntie Jen from Calgary, Alberta, saying bye.